Please welcome this week's special guest, Ian. Konnie.
Sorry, even before we start, I can tell you now, lads, this man does not know David Mitchell.
Konnie, what is Ian to you?
And this is Ian. When he brought his lizards onto Blue Peter, one of them went missing. Later that evening, I found it in my handbag.
All right. David, what's your connection?
This is Ian. I sat next to him on a plane, and he had such a fear of flying that I had to hold his hand throughout takeoff and landing.
It turns out David Mitchell might know this man really, really well.
Greg, how do you know Ian?
This is my friend Ian. One night after getting drunk together, he was wrongly arrested on suspicion of murder.
There we have it. Connie's lizard loser, David's terrified passenger, or Greg's falsely accused friend. Where do you want to start?
So Ian here brought lizards to a flagship BBC children's programme and left going, well, you know, you don't always go home with the same number of lizards. The great thing with Blue Peter is if you lose an animal there, they'll make up a name for it. What type of lizard?
Yeah.
Well, there was a selection of lizards. He brought in about 8 or 10 lizards, and there were chameleons.
And
What other type
did
of
one of them change its colour to the same as your handbag?
Yes.
And it's getting lost.
It wasn't a chameleon.
The lizard.
What was it?
It was a lizard.
What was your handbag
What
made?
type
Oh,
of...
the handbag was made of snake. No, it wasn't.
Whereabouts were you at Blue Peter when you found the lizard in your hand?
No, I wasn't. I was actually in my car, and my handbag was on the passenger seat.
Yeah.
So you opened your bag to get some money out or something?
I was in the multi-storey car park, and I'd stopped, and I just wanted to check that I had my phone.
Right,
And,
OK.
and then I was
You
like...
opened it, and did you go, hello? Hello?
I had a theory that someone put it in as a joke, but I don't know, and I've not...
Oh, the wacky days of Blue Peter.
Hilarious! I don't know if it's in the spirit of this game, but it really is true.
I'd like to say I'm not stupid enough to fall for this again. I am. OK, right. David,
Yes.
just remind us again of your implausible story.
Well, I was on a plane next to Ian, and his fear of flying was such that I had to hold his hand during takeoff and landing.
And where were you going from and to?
I was going from Gatwick to
That's an airport. Think of another one now.
Corsica.
Gatwick to Corsica. Yeah. And what did he say? Was there any, for want of a better word, foreplay, or did he go straight down?
It was on takeoff.
Yeah.
He just suddenly started.
What?
He started sort of making agitated noises.
Please, can you do the demonstration? I think we all want to see the agitated noise.
Yeah. No.
Go on.
As I remember it, it was just sort of.
Are you sure that wasn't the engine, David?
Yes, Lee, I'm sure it wasn't the engine.
So basically, he's sounding agitated.
Yeah.
Has he grabbed your hand?
Then he grabs my hand.
There's no talking. There's not. Do you mind if he's just gone?
Not at
straight
that
in?
point, no.
You slag, David Mitchell. And what did you say? Do you mind? I'm a married woman. I mean, what did you do?
I don't think I said anything.
You know why he's grabbed your hand, do you? You know he's
Well,
scared.
I assumed it was. I didn't think it was sexual attraction.
Right.
But it's very sweet of you to leap to that conclusion.
Did either of you have fellow travellers with you?
No. No,
We were both
well,
just flying to Corsica
yeah.
to see what might happen. See who you meet on the plane, maybe. And this happened again when you came in for landing?
After we became when it levelled off,
Yeah.
we became fully airborne. That sounds like a virus. He then said he sort of apologised and said, "I'm really sorry. I freak out sometimes on a plane." And I said, "Oh, you know, not to worry."
I bet that calmed him down.
I once stroked a girl's back while we were having a very difficult re-entry over... we were coming into Heathrow, and I didn't know her, and she was crying, and I just reached out and just stroked her back.
There was a reason why she was crying, wasn't there? The madman behind was stroking her back.
I wasn't behind her. I was like that with her. I was going, hey, it's OK. No, look, it's fine. This is just turbulence. Seriously, this is nothing. This is nothing, honestly. This is normal, really. This bloody hell. Look. Not really. And she was quietly sobbing. I mean, it was quite... I'm BAFTA nominated, I should point that out. So these things do happen. That's
They definitely happen. There's definitely people getting nervous on flights.
I think we have to deal with Greg's story.
Go on, Greg. Let's have it.
I got drunk with Ian, and later he was arrested wrongly on suspicion of murder.
Thank God that bit's in.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Well, I wasn't really part of it because we both passed out. It was a college ball, and we all drank vast amounts. Particularly Ian and I drank a ridiculous amount, and then both collapsed. The last thing I remember is Ian falling down and him obviously being horribly hurt. And I woke up on a carpet and ran...
That's nice change from the bath.
Not in the bath.
I ran upstairs and he was sitting up in his bed, honestly looking... His face was swollen like a pumpkin. And then he told me that night, when he'd been stumbling about drunk, he'd been arrested for murder because someone with a similar facial wound had murdered someone in the town.
Someone with a similar... Oh, so the facial wound from falling...
Yeah.
And someone with a similar facial wound had murdered somebody else.
Yeah.
That's unlucky.
Where was this?
How did they know he wasn't the murderer? What was the defining point in the interview?
He told me that they'd questioned him for hours, and eventually he said to the police, and I think this is a quote, "I'll be honest with you, lads, I could well have done it."
Let him out before you'd woken up.
It upsets me to think that police respond to double bluffs like that.
And just to be clear, it was proven at the end that he had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Correct.
Right.
Obviously, otherwise he wouldn't be here.
Right.
We never established just why David was going to Corsica.
On his own.
Was it Club 18 to 30 again?
No, it was a holiday. I was going on holiday with a group of friends, but I could only go a day after everyone else.
They made those rules, did they?
So, Lee's team. Is Ian Connie's reptile wrangler, David's frightened flyer, or Greg's suspicious friend? Which one are you going for?
What do we think, Phil?
I quite like Konnie.
Well, we all do.
Well, there you go.
Focus, Phil.
Yeah. No, I can imagine a bit of Blue Peter. He looks like a chap who might sort of keep lizards. I don't know why.
I'm slightly leaning towards Greg, only because I don't believe David.
I'm inclined to think that Connie's story is true.
Oh, go on then, Connie. If you've suckered these two idiots into it, I'll go along with that.
Ian, would you like to reveal to us your true identity?
My name is Ian. Whilst at college with Greg Davies, we got very drunk one night and was wrongly arrested on suspicion of murder.
When I went up in the morning, he was sitting upright in bed and his head was 3 times its natural size. And I went, "Oh, my God, mate, are you all right?" And he looked at me like this and went, "We've gone too far this time."